Hi friends, it's the Master Iceman here from Columbia Ice, a little local ice company that could. Today I want to talk to you about a sensor, the Airtrol F-4200-5 air pressure sensor. Now I've bypassed it, okay? And normally the sensor is attached here to the air regulator, and this air regulator goes up to your top seal, okay? The purpose of this sensor air tool right here is it will not turn on your top seal unless you have air pressure, okay? It normally exists in an open stage. Think of a gap, okay? When you get air pressure, it closes, electrical current can go through, that turns on your top seal. Now I've bypassed it, okay? I've bypassed it because I have an air leak here. When I sprayed soap and water on here, I got a crack. I think over time, just the vibration of the machines, got a crack here, okay? So I have bypassed it. You're probably thinking, what's the point of this sensor if you can bypass it? Well, if you've used the Hamer 540 enough, what happens is sometimes employees come in here, they forget to turn on the air compressor, they flip this on. If you turn this on without airflow, it's going to cause problems with your heating elements. They're going to overheat. They're going to start to shed black carbon particulate. It's going to clog the whole thing up. You can melt down your entire top seal. Okay, so really it's a sensor to help save you from human error. That's what it's about. Now you should have one of these on your parts shelf. I was an idiot and I didn't. And so now I have to go through the stress of every ice making shift, talking to employees, making sure they verify they have the compressor on. They verify they have air in right here in the air regulator, okay? Don't let this fool you. That's just the standing static pressure. There's probably a little air in the machine. Okay, you actually have to turn on your Hamer 540 and ignore my paint job. I'm not a great painter. Okay, and it should be right up here. When you're running this, it should be between 7 and 15. Okay, you want to see it. It'll have like a little bit of movement. Okay, you want to verify you have air there, air here. There's another gauge over there with air. You gotta make sure you have air here if you bypass the Airtrol F-4200-5 sensor. How it looks on your machine. How do you know? Again, you'll see this right here, the watt low. It'll get to temperature, then it'll drop. It doesn't drop a little. These are all little ranges of hot up and down, the way the watt low works, the way any temperature generally works. It's just small little range, okay? Very small. Drops by about 30. Goes all the way up, drops by about 30. That's kind of the indication something is going on with the air in the system. And so I sprayed some water down there, saw some bubbles, bypassed it. But the interesting thing that happened, okay, was it worked great when I bypassed it for about a day and a half. Then the problem came back. Whoa. Dropped by 30 degrees. Well, we ended up having to replace a thermocoupler, and we had to put in a new top seal, at least this side. You should always have a spare set, complete set, to swap in, just based on the fact it takes 12 to 24 hours for the high temperature gasket sealant to set, okay? But it's my belief that the lack of consistent air pressure caused by the leak caused issues with my heating element, and when I took it apart, I saw lots of black particulate. If you overheat these, if you do not have good airflow, what you're going to find is they're going to shed a bunch of black carbon, and it's going to clog up the airflow down in these plates and cause you all sorts of issues in here, which can mimic the original problem, which was the leak right in here. And so you solve one problem, then you got to solve the consequences of the other problem, or the consequences of the original problem, which was the shedding of my heating elements, messing up my airflow in here, which screwed up my thermal coupling. So it's just one of the interesting sort of problems that can occur with the Hamer 540 when your airflow gets messed up. And a lot of times it looks electrical, but most times it's airflow. It's Master Iceman here from Columbia Ice, self-trained on the Hamer 540. If I get things wrong, politely let me know in the comments. You know, the idea behind these videos is to create conversation around the Hamer 540 so we can learn from each other. Because we all have the same responsibility of keeping these machines running, especially in the summer. We have owners giving us the evil eye, why are we down? And perhaps if we share knowledge, you know, we can all prevent downtime together across our variety of factories that we work at. Subscribe, leave a comment, say hi.